the RF 200-800. Now I've had this lens about 4 or 5 months, maybe something like that, and I am denied about it. I was going to get the 100-500L, which is obviously the next people's choice instead of this one, but I went with this one just for the extra reach. And you do hear a few people complaining about this lens, to be honest, saying that it struggles to focus and it's f9. It does both of those things. It does struggle to focus and it is f9, but the caveat is it only does that at 800mm. At 500-600mm it's absolutely fine. It doesn't struggle with the focus. It doesn't struggle with low light, because at that point you're about f6.3, something like that. So the advantage is that yes, it may struggle to focus at 800mm, but that 800mm is free. You have to think of it like, well, what other lens is going to get me to 800mm? And it's not going to be perfect. The differences between the 100-500L and this one is very, very little in terms of sharpness as well. This is just as sharp as the 100-500. There's no doubt about it. I've seen pictures and it's sharper than my EF 100-400 that I had before. I've got it coupled on an R7 and it works absolutely fine. It is sharp. I mean, yes, the autofocus struggles, but not at 500mm. And 500mm on the 100-500, that's your max zoom distance. So this is fine at 500. So why would you not get this and run it at 500-600 if you wanted to, instead of the 100-500L, and be limited to 500? It's only at that 600, it's only at that 600, 700, 800 where it does struggle with the focus, and it does struggle a bit with the lower light. But that's 200 or 300mm that you get in free that you don't get with the 100-500. And that's the thing that everyone misses with this. They'll say, well, okay, does it struggle in low light? No, it doesn't. Not at 500mm, not at 600mm, not at 400mm. Does it struggle at 800? Yes, it does a little bit. Does the autofocus go a little bit dodgy at 800? Yes, it does. But the advantage is, obviously, do you know what I mean? That's 800mm. What is to complain about? Don't complain about something not working at 800mm, right? When essentially there's not many other lenses that go to that point anyway. So, you know, use what you're stuck with, use what you're given, use at 800mm, but don't expect it to be perfect. That's the gist of what I'm saying with this. Other than that, people say there is a problem with it cracking at that centre section there. There's a few reports of that happening, but there's a few reports of other lenses where that happens as well. So is that an issue? Possibly not. Take care of it, I suppose, and just make sure you don't drop it or give it any knocks and things like that. But that's the same with any lens, isn't it? Let's face it. And other than that, it's all right. The manual focus ring is here. That's a bit annoying. I must admit that is a bit annoying, because generally you're holding your lens there, or you've got your hand over the top here or something, and you've got to come back and try and find it in amongst there, which isn't ideal. So that's a bit annoying. The control ring, has it got a control ring? I can't even remember. I never use them. It's got 2 lock buttons as well, which I think are the focus locks normally, but you can assign those. And generally you can do other bits and pieces with them as well. I don't play with them too much, to be honest. It's the controls on the camera. It's a bit of a faff trying to find them as well, when you're actually doing stuff. But they're there if you want them, or you could just use some of your buttons on the back of the camera. So, I'm glad I got this. Yes. Is it annoying? Yes. Does it take sharp photos? Absolutely. And does it focus? Well, yes, within the right range. So yeah, can't fault it really. I'm glad I went with it over the 100-500L. So that's it. I'm just on my way back now because my battery's gone on the camera. So I think I'm going to head home. All right, thanks for watching.